Oh, that's so cool. To have a beam clash like that, and then for the middle point to be a black hole. This series is at its absolute best when Godzilla Just Prey is the first thing I'm going to kind of cover here. This I was made aware of by Warping Fist on YouTube. He and I sort of follow each other. We've commented on each other's videos, and I am a big fan of his work. However, I haven't seen his video yet on Godzilla Just Prey, so I wanted to check this out. From what I've been made aware, it's a Godzilla analog horror series, which already I'm sure you're like, oh god, I really couldn't care less.
Oh, brother!
I'm intrigued because there's a lot of biblical themes apparently that are present in this. And as a Catholic, I always find that stuff super interesting. One of my favorite movies is The Exorcist, which a lot of Catholics have wrongfully said is like a evil satanic movie. It's not. The hero is a priest. I mean, like, it's quite literally a pro-Catholic movie, but that's a conversation for another day. A conversation already had in a separate video. It does not matter. But Godzilla Just Prey apparently has a lot of really interesting things to say theologically, and kind of takes the character in a unique direction. So we'll see what happens here. This is by content creator Toolzilla. So go and show Toolzilla some love here. Right off the bat, no AI was used in this video, so that's kind of cool. And this is just a super cut of season 1. Because I thought about kind of watching each episode individually and doing it that way in like a playlist. This seems the most logical to me. I'm someone that just prefers to make super cuts of my own videos, so we'll see what happens. This is Godzilla Just Prey Season 1. Season 1 implies there might be a Season 2, so let's see what happens. Very intrigued. The Colossal Organism Defense Center.
Measures against unidentified colossal organisms. High concentration radiation detected off the coast of San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Mass die-off of extremely distorted and decayed fish confirmed.
Now, someone in chat mentioned this. Godzillanid? I don't know. They said that he's remastered a few episodes, so this one has everything up to date. I know that the Mandela catalog, they did the exact same kind of thing, where the first couple episodes were a little rough, and then they eventually remade it later down the line. So I'm intrigued almost to see what the original episode 1 was like. Some stuff I want to kind of look out for is just based on this presentation. I'm a bit concerned it's going to be just text on screen and that's about it. I'd be very curious to kind of see how they're going to pull. I mean, already I'm seeing that, and I love that painting, so I'm already kind of excited to see where we go. But I'm just a bit concerned about the execution so far. We'll see what happens, though.
Cellular composition matches remains of Gojira destroyed in Tokyo 1954.
So the first movie is canon. Yeah. Text-to-speech voice is kind of throwing me off here.
Conclusion. High probability of reappearance of a similar unidentified colossal organism. Evacuation order for nearby residents. Dispatch military investigation unit to San Francisco coast.
San Francisco. I know this is just a minute in and I've paused a million times, but I do have to say I'm not a big fan of analog horror series that have a ton of this text-to-speech. We'll see, obviously, if that continues later on. But, like, if I got to listen to almost an hour of text-to-speech voices, I'm going to lose it. But still, let's just keep going. I'm curious. San Francisco is right.
I'm recording this for myself, not for the report.
Okay, this sounds like a human. Oh, that's cool. I'd love to see a making of for this too, because I know, use tools Adobe After Effects. So I'd be really curious to see how some of this stuff is executed, but that's really cool. However, again, just being a little critical here, I am not a big fan of like the swing jazz music that's slowed down to be scary. I'm not a big fan of that in the background. I think that could be I think it's been kind of overdone just a tad in analog horror as of late. Not a fan of that, but this imagery is fantastic. The art is incredible. I love this part here when he sort of rises up. How if you look here, you can see that it's all moving. It's not like they just took a PNG and then are just moving it up. Like how that's actually swaying there. It's so cool.
We still speak as if procedure can contain a myth. We still speak as if procedure can contain a myth.
I'm not sure if it's a Shin Godzilla remodel. I think
Incident
it
summary.
might be its own kind of thing. Maybe, but I'm sure it's heavily inspired by Shin Godzilla, just based off of sort of like the general mood and atmosphere. Especially there at the start, it has a lot of Shin Godzilla elements to it.
Radioactive energy approximated at 80 megatons discharged from oral cavity. San Francisco region
San
destroyed beyond
Francisco.
repair. Casualties are impossible to estimate, but are expected to be in the hundreds of thousands. Subject currently silent. But internal high
So
energy signature
it
of
shot out its atomic breath, and then it's almost like a turret, and then it just does that. It's not like rampaging or anything, right? Is that kind of what they're
increasing
getting at here?
rapidly. Activity resumption expected. Area now designated as high radiation contamination zone. Civilian presence assessed as non-viable within the zone. Request authorization for nuclear strike.
Here we go. Here's where we get some religious stuff. Let's go. Oh, look at that. That is so cool. Oh, my word. This feels right out of Revelations here. Oh, that's so cool. I'm lighting up like a Christmas tree seeing some of that stuff. Holy. It almost feels like the creator, and I'm just assuming, but it almost feels like the creator made this, and then they're like, okay, let me come up with a story around this. Because, like, this belongs in a museum. This looks so cool. I love the exposed gums. I love the eyes along, like, I guess the horns. I don't know specifically what these would be called, but oh, like the eyes on the wings to kind of have like, because it's like that biblically accurate angel thing. Looks like that's that there as well. That's the whole body of Ghidorah. You got the angels. Yeah, this is so sick though. The jaws of Godzilla here spitting out all these people is so wild. Atomic bomb there. Oh. All right, so they're going to nuke
Subject
Godzilla
shows
because that
no movement,
always
but
ends
internal
up
signal
working.
is exploding. Close examination, necrosis, and regeneration cycle confirmed. Post-strike severe swelling detected across entire body.
Now, really quick, I do have a bit of an issue with sort of, again, the execution of the storytelling. And this is more constructive. I'm not like dissing the series or the creator with anything I say here. But one of my big issues with Man in the Suit in the early episodes was that it was just kind of this. Like, I hate how we go from this, it's like, oh, pre-nuking, and then they nuke it, and then we don't actually, it's like, show, don't tell. I understand this is analog horror, but I think you could do a little bit more and show just a bit more, and I think it'd be really cool to actually see this stuff happen a little bit more. I get that, budget is a thing. I get it, but still, with some of these stories that are being told, it's like I want to see it. I don't want to just read about it. That's my take on it.
Entire body. Moments later, massive energy burst occurred. Organic fragments dispersed across the city. Radiation levels exceeded measurement limits. Remote visual observation is no longer possible. New unknown energy reaction detected in dispersed matter. When exposed to atmospheric oxygen, IT triggers violent oxidation.
IT triggers.
Contact melts and dissolves all organic life.
Toolzilla, I'm sorry. You gotta get a human voice actor. You gotta. Because it's really hard for me to kind of sit through text to speech. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be mean, because there's a lot that I'm loving here. Don't get me wrong. The art is incredible. There's a lot working here. Don't get me wrong. Okay, this is episode 2. First off, episode 1. Very solid start, minus the whole issues I had with text to speech and, the general kind of presentation. I think the art is fantastic. This is gorgeous. I mentioned it already here, but there's this shot here that really caught my attention. Right here. Where, like, the little, like, fleshy bits are moving and swaying. That's so cool. It's amazing here. I love how the arms are just hardly even arms. It just looks like whatever that is. It's horrifying. So many bits. I mean, this tapestry part here. Let me find it. I'm just kind of skimming. This tapestry is incredible. This is one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my entire life. It is so awesome. There are so many parts that work. This is great. The usage of this, I'm not a big fan of like where it like glitches out. That's a bit kind of cliche, but I think with where they're going to go, especially considering this imagery and that imagery there, I have a feeling they're kind of drawing some parallels already. So I'm loving the elements of this already. Presentation is a bit rough, but otherwise, I'm all in. Episode 2. Saunders University says, Firewood, what's my take on nuking Godzilla? I think, look, if it's Godzilla's like first appearance and the human characters don't know anything about Godzilla, that's more than fine. Part of me, though, is like, okay, if the 54 movie is canon to this, why would they nuke Godzilla knowing that he came from nuclear bombs? I don't know. Maybe they don't know that. I'm not going to make assumptions. But in general, like in -1 when they nuke Godzilla, I have no issue with that because they don't know any better. Sorry. When they just drop the bombs and it radiates Godzilla, like they don't know any better in that regard. So I'm not too upset about people nuking Godzilla and then that's like a plot contrivance. I think for the most part, like I have no issue with it, honestly. Unless they know better and then they nuke him. But here, I haven't seen any indication that they know better. Episode 2.
We have all suffered great wounds from the creature the world calls Gojira.
Yeah, you gotta stop with the text-to-speech. Gojira. I don't know. Have your friend do it. Or like someone, like your dad, your mom, your uncle, your cousin, your aunt. Like, to me, that's way more endearing, way more appealing than just having a text-to-speech voice do this. And that's kind of with anything, really. I generally hate text-to-speech. I think the only good usage of it that I've ever seen was I watched this one tutorial yesterday where it was Fallout New Vegas. It was how to install mods, and they had the Yes Man. It was like an AI version of Yes Man, like explaining it.
So, you want to mod Fallout New Vegas in the year 2024?
Like, I think if you were doing an analog horror series about a computer, and it was like a HAL 9000 kind of thing, right? And you had that text-to-speech voice, that's fine. But back in the 80s and like early 90s, text-to-speech was not this. This is far too advanced. And that's sort of my issue is it's creating this kind of like, I don't know, like a cognitive dissonance maybe is the word, where you're sort of like thinking in one mind, hey, we're watching something from so far back that it requires analog technology to, okay, we're using text-to-speech. I don't know. Yeah, text-to-speech, when it's for shit posting, I have no issue. But with this, it just kind of creates this weird, like, uncanny valley that takes me out of the story when it comes to analog horror, because it's like, we really didn't have text-to-speech in this high quality. If it's like Bonzi Buddy, even then that's a bit much. I don't know. If it's like the I'm fine with that. Patsy3199 says, I think the text-to-speech in prehistoric emergence is used in an okay way, mainly for the earlier episodes when they're finding their footing. I guess, but at the same time, as someone who grew up with VHS tapes, there wouldn't be text-to-speech on VHS tapes, and so it just throws it off for me because it's like it doesn't seem legit. It would be like someone in the 80s playing with a PlayStation 5. It just completely like throws me for a loop almost, and it's like that's not right. It'd be like if someone making a World War One movie and like they're flying drones around. It's like, to me, it just, there's like, it doesn't work. And yes, analog technology is still around. Some people do still use it, myself included, but at the same time, it's hard for me to wrap my head around that and to stay engaged with the story when you do this as a storyteller. That's just my take. That's all. Right. Yeah, the eyewitness tapes from the library. Yeah, I mean, they had narrators. And my point is, I'm not dogging on them for using text-to-speech, because I understand a lot of these creators, this is all they have. Dude, just use your own voice. It's so much more appealing. I would love it if this person did their own voice, even if they're like, I don't know how old they are, but if they're like 9 years old and it's some little kid doing a voice, I'd be like, you know what? That's endearing. I'll take that over this. I don't know. I don't think this person's 9 years old. I'm just using that as an example. But yeah, that's just my take on it. I would love to hear more authentic voices in this project, because it is unfortunately doing a disservice to the story.
Ghidorah.
So they are doing a Ghidorah storyline. Obviously, we saw that with the tapestry. What I thought was an angel is actually this. It's a heart, which it's really cool how the valves of the heart look like Ghidorah's head. That's incredible. Love how it's wrapped around that. Oh, the Church of Ghidorah. Cool. All right, so we get more of that tapestry. That's cool. That's cool. Love the eyes on the wings. By the way, I'm going to drop a subscribe to Toolzilla, and you guys should too. Tell them I sent you. I really love the art. I don't know if you guys have seen like I guess they're like tapestries, but like these religious paintings and drawings and whatnot. Like this nails that look so perfectly. It looks amazing. I just am like remembering being a kid in Catholic church, during Mass on Sundays and seeing art just like this. So accurate, and it's so perfect. So good. Really quick, I'm going to just comment. Geek Cinema. Yeah, it's very Catholic, like Roman Catholic. Yeah, it's that perfect art style. It looks so authentic. I think now we see a bit more, maybe it looks like it's a bit more zoomed out, because I can see like part of the water there. This feels so apocalyptic. I love the hell out of this. I think the sound design here is really great too. Okay, now we're in episode 3. Episode 2, as like a little kind of like, okay, we're moving the plot along. We're establishing now Ghidorah, the Church of Ghidorah, this force of religious people who are like, okay, Ghidorah is the answer to Godzilla, almost like an inverse of like, okay, Ghidorah is an angel almost, maybe not, but like a positive figure, as opposed to Godzilla, who's like a demon almost, I assume is kind of what they're going with. Now in episode 3. Mass psychological incident has been reported in a small town in Redacted. All residents reportedly experienced the same vision simultaneously, an angelic being with 3 heads resembling a dragon. Some suffered from severe fear. That's cool. That reminds me of in Ghidorah, the 3-headed monster, when that one princess is almost like hypnotized. And then it also reminds me of the, what is it? Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, where that woman is like doing that dance at the start, and then she starts seeing visions of Ghidorah, and then she faints, and like it's this whole like kind of dramatic moment. This feels very reminiscent of that. So they're kind of taking those ideas and they're applying them to this Western Christian kind of idea and aesthetic. I'm really liking that. That's cool. That's very unique. This event, now referred to as the Ghidorah phenomenon, appears to be spreading outward from the original town center. Residents also reported that at the exact moment of the vision, a glowing entity called the Heart of Seraphim Ghidorah appeared inside the local church. Okay, interesting. No physical evidence was found. However, those who experienced the phenomenon continue to claim that they can still see the heart constantly and vividly. That's cool. It's kind of like a cosmic horror kind of thing. It really is like the it reminds me of what's the Edgar Allan Poe story where he kills his friend, cuts him up, and you can still hear the heart beating through the floorboards. I'm blanking on it right now, but that's what that reminds me of there. I think it's just because it's a heart, and I don't know, and only certain people can hear it, see it. Telltale Heart. Thank you, Patsy3199. Yes, it was the Telltale Heart. So, yeah, people in chat right now are saying, so in this case, Ghidorah is an archangel in disguise or a fallen archangel. Zach Plays says, some people in the comments are saying Godzilla is the true wrath of God, while Ghidorah is pretending to be an archangel. Interesting. A local priestess of the emerging Church of Ghidorah requested an interview with personnel. The transcript of that interview is attached in the supplemental file.
Good evening. Thank you for taking the time to meet with me. I truly hope this interview will spread our message so that more lost lambs might find salvation. I saw an angel, a three-headed angel. I saw it rising from the blood of the lamb, praising God as it ascended into the heavens. And then, with a sound like thunder, a trumpet blast.
So that's pretty cool that it's a trumpet blast. That's calling back to the 7 trumpets. I believe that's mentioned in Revelations, where it signals the end of the world. And yeah, that's a neat little detail there, for sure.
A single word appeared before me.
The writing is pretty solid throughout, I will say.
Godzilla. Yes, that's what people call it.
It also,
But what you...
I think this is a real person. I think this isn't text to speech. Like there's actually kind of emotion here in this performance. If episode 1 was just a little rocky, and after this it really steps it up, I'm gonna be so happy because episode 3 is so much better than 1. 2 was really good too, but like I think that was kind of almost like an interlude or like an ad, just kind of being like, here, we're building onto this. This is already though a massive step up from where they just were. So I'm liking this.
Godzilla. It's Satan, the red dragon, the beast from the sea, the one that spits out the stars from heaven and blasphemes the name of God. The government tried to destroy it with nuclear weapons, but there is no human weapon that can kill such a creature. We must be humble. Only God can judge Satan. Our only hope for survival is to serve him. Only those with unwavering faith can witness it. The heart of Seraphim Ghidorah, and receive its mark. It cannot be explained by science. Satan has already begun devouring the lambs. You must repent. Stop worshipping idols. Turn back before it's too late.
This is so interesting. I'm loving this so much right now. This is really good.
How could Mary? humans ever comprehend all of God's words. Ghidorah is the devotion of the archangels, a manifestation of Michael, Gabriel, and Raphael, sent to strike down the red dragon from Revelations. By faith, Enoch was translated that he should not see death, and was not found, because God had translated him. For before his translation, he had this testimony that he pleased God. There will be Armageddon. Only the faithful will escape the tribulations of this world through the rapture. Mortem not videvit, milen inferorum cruciatus vitem, ut salutem consequibusums.
Very good. The series is getting a lot better. And like I said, this helps having an actual actress delivering these lines. There's real emotion behind this. Like, it's actually startling. I agree. Religious psychosis is such a haunting thing just in storytelling in general. This is amazing. I'm loving this. So immediate interdepartmental cooperation is advised to monitor and contain the spread of the Ghidorah phenomenon. It's kind of fascinating too how, this franchise is so old. It's 70 plus years or however, I think it's 72 now. And so for them to kind of I know this isn't official, but this is kind of where fan interpretations are taking it, because we've seen giant monsters wreaking havoc for 70 plus years now. You can only do so much with this concept. And I think to take it in this, like you said, like a religious psychosis kind of direction with religious themes, it's so interesting. It's so compelling. It's so well done right now. Again, the exception of some execution elements here and there, with the general way that they're telling the story in parts, it's getting really good. That's great. I know that's not their artwork. It's, pre-existing artwork. Still great. Yep, I adore this painting. If I remember correctly, too, Guillermo del Toro said that this painting here was one of his inspirations for Pacific Rim, specifically with Gypsy Danger kind of moving towards the Alaskan shore in that prologue scene. I mean, it's such a striking image. It makes total sense. 71 years. I think it's going on 72, but yeah. It's 54, 2026. Well, I think that's wow. I think it's telling though that it's doing a good job of telling a compelling story if a non-religious person can still get something out of it and it can still be awesome. Like, obviously this isn't pushing faith on anybody. It's just using theology as sort of like the lens of which to perceive Godzilla. But this is wow. I want to take this all in. God, that's cool. So cool. I agree. This artwork is incredible.
We must repent. The sixth seal has been broken, and the angel's trumpet will soon sound. More and more are receiving the revelation, and the faithful
Oh, that's
are
nuts.
gathering here. Over 100.
Oh, shoot. Okay, so that was episode 3. Sorry, let's go back. So episode 3 ended here. I think it was right before she started talking. Oh, we get a work in progress, and okay, I want to check out the work in progress stuff in the community tab. But yeah, it's down. Oh, here we go. So here's some storyboards that he did. That's really cool. Ooh, here we go. Is there drama that went on with Is there people that are saying that he used like AI? Is this okay? So for context, for people who don't know, he used AI in the very first episode to animate the still shots, but after receiving backlash, he stopped using it. Okay, gotcha. That's not a huge deal to me, honestly. Oh, I see. They made it members only. Oh, they did post this though, like a speed paint. Person is an incredible artist. I'm really keen on this. So we got about here.
100,000 souls have already arrived.
Never mind. I think I skipped way too forward. 100,000 people have already been sacrificed.
Awesome sound. More and more are receiving the revelation, and the faithful are gathering here. Over 100,000 souls have already arrived, and still they continue to do so. Join us. Walk with God. Receive the mark of Ghidorah and be saved through the rapture.
This kind of gives me like Heaven's Gate vibes almost. I'm really liking this.
Oh, in Armageddon.
Oh, it's so cool.
About this world, we will stand besides the Lord, praising His name.
Okay, so this is a
awaiting the dawn of the
little bit of a
millennial
longer one.
kingdom.
Okay. I really do think that this concept is that she's completely misguided and very likely, yes, sees the, the heart in this church, right? Like I 100% think that that is something that she's actually experiencing. But like demons and, like the devil in the Bible are known to lie to people. And so who's to say this isn't them lying to her? I totally think that's something that could be happening here. They exhibit extreme aggression and fanatical behavior toward anyone attempting to intervene or restrain them. The area surrounding the church has effectively become a mass gathering zone beyond any form of control. Participants have abandoned their jobs, families, and previous identities, devoting themselves entirely to rituals of ascension. The situation has worsened as multiple law enforcement officers, firefighters, and medical personnel also have shown signs of the phenomenon and have joined the congregation. As a result, response capabilities are critically undermined, and current local resources are insufficient to contain or manage the outbreak. Recommended response actions: immediate mobilization of all available defense and rescue personnel toward the Ghidorah Church area. Full lockdown of surrounding access routes and restriction of all civilian entry. Immediate isolation and containment of any individuals exhibiting hallucinations or delusional symptoms related to the phenomenon. Censorship and suppression of all secondary spread media, including sermons, broadcasts, and online content associated. Interesting. So it's like a full-on like war of information that's kind of happening. Because it's almost like the idea of it is like a parasite, and it's like once you get that, you're screwed and you're part of this kind of congregation. So this is that sort of rapture, I assume, where they're all sort of going to this as like a sacrifice point. Oh, that's great. That is so cool. I think it's a mix of both, because I know that they credited Kevin. Yeah, there's like Christian music, no copyright, no copyright. But then I know that Toolzilla also somewhere here posted, yeah, the main theme. And it was Koyo Beats that made this. What is this? Hell yeah, dude. That's great. Okay. Yeah, I think a lot of this is public domain music with this Koyo Beats making. Yeah. Well, that's so they actually have like legitimate experience. That's great. Yeah, so they do a ton. Holy, okay. Oh wow. So they did like Stellar Blade music. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, no, this person is like legit. Okay. That's crazy. Right on. That's like Nope. That reminds me of Nope. I don't think they're going to use any copyrighted Godzilla music because I don't see it here. Whenever I am about to react to something, I'll always check down here to see if anything's copyrighted, and then I just won't react to it. Like someone sent me their like Godzilla stop motion animation thing, and they used nothing but Akira Ifukube music, and I basically was like, I'm sorry, I can't react to this on stream because it's going to get the stream claimed and taken down. So with this, I knew it was safe because you didn't see a copyrighted thing here. But yeah, I don't think they're going to use any Akira Ifukube stuff. Oh, that's great. That's great. I love that. That looks so cool. So that's the end of episode 4. Okay. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I will say, I love this concept of people flying up into the air and then they all explode in a cloud of blood and then become a giant monster. Just this imagery here of them like smiling as they ascend up and then just the cloud of blood. It's wicked. This is amazing. This series is at its absolute best when it's just more of like this, where it just kind of lets stuff play out with the music over it. Almost when it abandons the analog horror medium and it just kind of goes into telling stories through just the art, honestly. But yeah, that my point being is I think this series is really at its best when the analog horror stuff kind of goes by the wayside and it just embraces this format of more art. Like episode 4 was the best one yet. And I know I said that about 3. That's a good sign, I think, when 3 was the best one yet, and then 4 gets even better. It's like that's a great sign. The San Francisco harbor. Gojira has re-entered the coast. Oxidizing radiation. Ah, that's great. Biological contact is fatal. Relocate north or south inland from redacted. Do not approach luminous organic masses. Organic masses. Or any unknown biological material. Exposure is irreversible. Interesting. Again, ooh, this is cool, but it's like, show me. Ready. Show, don't tell. Yeah, a couple movies have touched on Godzilla's radioactivity affecting people, for sure. Um, I know that there's a deleted scene in Shin Godzilla where part of Godzilla was like shedding off and it had like eyes and teeth on it, and then those parts were radioactive. Um, but yeah, I know for a fact GMK did, because of that part where they run towards the dad and he's like, "No, don't touch me. I could be radioactive." And they salute and there's like the distance between them or whatever. Like that was such a great scene. I can't wait to cover GMK in depth on the channel. Ghidorah survival protocol active. I love how this really does feel like the end times though. Like this does feel like an EAS kind of emergency broadcast system. Ghidorah appeared in Ohio after the simultaneous deaths of... Someone in chat said Ohio was where this was. Who said this? Because you were actually right. If you've seen the series, you're spoiling it. But if you were just being like, if you're like memeing and you got it right, yeah, Zach plays. You completely hit it on the head with it being Ohio. That's cool. So their blood just went up into a cloud and then they combined into one entity. That's so cool. Sound design is great here too. I love this very creepy ambient sound. It's almost like a siren that sounds like muffled. It's great. This is very, I hate to say this, but it's very Lovecraftian. It weirdly reminds me of, and no one in chat has mentioned this yet, the anime trilogy in terms of Planet Eater, the third one, and how they treat Ghidorah like this godlike figure. It comes down and ascends from the skies, and it's very biblical. And that's one of the few elements of that movie that I actually really found myself enjoying. So to see this kind of utilize little bits of elements of that is really cool. Really liking the cosmic horror angle that this is starting to take now. So if a family member reports hearing a voice, seeing a bright figure, reciting religious passages, they might be corrupted. Attempting to go outside. Restrain and isolate them immediately. Do not open the door for any reason. The lambs have been saved. More must join them. Rise. That's great. Walk into the light. This kind of reminds me of Local 58. There's like that scene where it's like the person hijacking the station and then like the person running the station are like fighting back and forth, being like, look at the moon, don't look at the moon, look at the moon, don't look at the moon. And then like one of them gets corrupted and they're like, look at the moon. This kind of is like reminding me of that in the best way possible. Now, one minor gripe, I know this is nearing the end of this episode that I'm starting to kind of feel, is the pacing is just a bit too slow for me now. It's kind of like I get it. I understand that this is a very bad thing and that this threat is very imposing, but at the same time, it's like you already made this very clear. Let's maybe move on or, show a different set piece because it's like we've been having these warnings for almost 4 minutes straight. It's like I understand, I get it completely. I mean, it looks like it keeps on going for a little bit more. Yeah, it's dragging on. It's kind of like I get it. If you hear something, it's bad. If you see something, it's bad. It's like I understand completely. I get what you're trying to do. I get what you're trying to say, but it's also kind of like, all right, let's move on now. Let's go. Like, this is just repeating information. The do not look outside. Like, we already kind of got this part. We'll just skip forward. Be the wings and teeth of the angel. All right, I'll stop doing that because otherwise I'm going to spoil it for myself. Yeah, pacing with a lot of online stuff is a very common problem just because people don't understand, like, don't waste my time. Like, it's just like, I'm having so much fun making this. I mean, like, dude, I'm saying this about myself. When you go to my old videos, right? We'll go here. Firewood Media 101. If you ever want to watch my movies, it's this playlist right here. But you go to Another Day Closer to the Sun. Good Lord, this is my first feature film. I mean, like, this is the boringest thing I've ever seen in my life. We're going to go 3 times speed. I mean, just like, look at this. This is so goddamn boring. This sucks. It's just people walking around. And it's like, dude, don't waste people's time. So, I did the re-edit, and I think this is much better. It's a lot more fast-paced, where there's more stuff. There's more things happening. I almost said more stuff happening, but you get my point. I mean, like, good Lord. People got to learn pacing. And it's something that you can really only learn the more that you create stuff. And in a way, I'm basically saying to Toolzilla here, keep going. I mean, it's getting better and better. I mean, I personally love episode 4. I think that episode 4 is like the best part yet. I mean, 7 looks nuts, but 6 I'm a bit iffy on considering it's just talking, but we'll see. Yeah, they might be referencing that kind of broadcast from Astro Monster. The priestess is still alive. You would have thought that she'd be one of the first to kind of go up in that cloud of blood to become Ghidorah. Oh, I see. So she did. And this tape is from that. I see. This is great already. Fantastic performance so far. I'm loving this. This feels like an audio tape that you'd get in like a survival horror game that you'd like listen to while you're like
my son.
Here we go.
Jacob from San Francisco was killed in Godzilla's attack.
So that's her.
We could not even find his body.
So that's her motivation for that, I see.
Is God trying to pass judgment upon us? But why my son? What sin could my child have committed?
You know what this reminds me? It reminds me of The Witch, and how I remember in that movie there's a scene where, their baby gets taken away by the witch, and there's like the mom is like, oh, he was never baptized, he's going to hell, all this stuff. And it's like, oh, you don't even like think about that stuff. This is very much in that kind of line of like, what sin can my child have committed? It's such a great line.
I raised him to be faithful.
Reminds me of The Witch.
To be honest. And my son believed in God even more deeply than I did. He was a righteous child. Then Then is this in mine?
That's interesting to
If
think
so,
about.
why did you take my child?
Yeah, the
Why
Bioshock
him?
recordings.
Is this
Totally. I was thinking
Satan's
more like
trick?
Batman Arkham Asylum, but yeah, this is even more accurate, where it's just some character who's like going insane in all these audio logs. Totally.
Then why? Why did you not stop Satan? Jacob, 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 Jacob. I am sorry, Jacob. I miss you. I really miss you, my sweet, sweet child.
Great performance here. This is wonderful.
I had a dream. Now, I receive a revelation. A three-headed seraphim descending, covered in the blood of the Lamb.
That's such cool imagery.
Ghidorah. I went to the church.
I almost wonder if she's like utilizing her grief as a way to, like, maybe that's like, I mean, the grief is totally the motivation, but I think it's less like she's being influenced by Ghidorah and more just like, I think she just honestly is open and susceptible to this, like how grief can really make anyone susceptible to negative influences. I wonder if that's sort of what they're trying to kind of say and
People were
try
gathered
to
staring
tell
at a
here.
heart.
It's really interesting
A
storytelling so
winged
far.
heart. The heart of Ghidorah. The heart of the
Yeah, exactly like the girl in Gamera 3. Totally. Great connection. I didn't even make it. That's a wonderful connection. Yes, totally. It's almost beat for beat. That makes a lot of sense. But yes, she is very much like that character. I totally great connection there. Analog Zoda. Totally.
God answer my desperate prayers. God answer me. Jacob, 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 my son did not die in vain. This is the beginning of the war between heaven and hell. In this moment of suffering, he was taken by Satan's deception. My son, Jacob, his soul is protected besides God. Satan could not take his soul. And God, the Father, answered the death of the Lamb with a seraphim. Gojira. That thing is Satan. Leviathan. And the seraphim will strike down the dragon. It was you who crushed the heads of the
Oh, it's
Leviathan.
great, dude. This is so
and
good.
gave it as food to the creatures of the desert.
This is so good.
Hallelujah. Amen.
Three, okay. This it goes on for a bit. We'll see.
I understand now. I understand why he did not answer before. It was not silence. It was waiting. Leviathan is not to be just a mere beast in the garden of heaven. Yes, yes. The pain was not punishment. The pain was preparation. We were not abandoned. We were being made ready.
This is so cool. What a great performance here from this actress.
Do you hear it?
Good lord.
No, you will. He does not speak in words as we do. He speaks in signs, in wounds, in absence. I am going to be reborn as he always wanted. I thought I was
I really
brave.
love too how like there's times where you could tell she's actually like away from the mic and it's kind of like this and she's almost like not even like knowing that she's still recording and she's kind of like lucid almost. She comes off as more deranged. And I really like that. The production on that is very, very good. This episode has been very solid. I was a bit concerned because it's pretty much just a still image with narration over it, but it's working very well, and the actress playing this character is just carrying the whole thing. It's so impressive.
But I was being instructed. We are not meant to flee. We are not meant to hide. We are meant to gather.
But this does in the best way possible feel like a BioShock recording where you just hear someone going insane in some like audio tape. It totally has that feeling. Like especially here.
Do not be afraid. Fear is how you resist what is already decided. We have been marked by suffering. That is how he knows us. The others will come. They will say they have seen him. They will say they have heard him. And they will be right. When you hear the sound, do not cover your ears. When you see the light, do not turn away. Justice is going to be served. We are going to.
Ooh, that sound design is great. This is so well done.
He's not coming to
Production is
save
so good
everyone.
here.
Only those who are ready to be changed. Soon, no one will have to believe. They will simply understand. Amen.
Interesting. That was really good. Now, I will say I'm not a big fan of this. I would have liked if it just said audio log end because that would kind of leave you, the viewer, with kind of interpreting this by yourself and kind of coming up with your own ideas. But with this, I don't like how it just kind of goes, okay, now that you just heard that, we're going to explain it to you. I'm not a fan of that one bit. I think it's over explaining the horror and it's kind of ruining it in a bit. I don't know. I'm not a fan of. We're gonna have you. It would be like if you watched a movie, and then after the movie, like the movie ends ambiguously. I'll use a very specific example. It would be like with Twin Peaks, where if at the end of every episode David Lynch came on camera and said, "All right, here's what that episode meant. The log represents this," and it would just like it'd be like, well, what is there to think about or discuss or interpret? Um, this is sort of like that whole I talked about this in my power scaling video, how I don't like that, how it's you're over explaining elements of the story that could be really cool. I think this is sort of that same thing where it's negatively affecting the story because you have to over explain it. And I don't like this. This is an element that I almost want to just skip a bit, but I won't. I'll respect the artist, but I'm just saying like it's frustrating. Like just leave it as is. Also, yeah, David Lynch would be accompanied by his Woody Woodpecker collection. That's one of my favorite stories ever. It's so good. I want to pull this up.
And now for something completely different.
David Lynch is recalling a day in 1981 when he says he rescued 5 Woody Woodpecker toys that he saw hanging up as he drove past a petrol station. I screech on the brakes, I do a U-turn, go back and I buy them. I save their lives, he says seriously. I named them Chucko, Buster, Pete, Bob, and Dan, and they were my boys, and they were in my office. They were my dear friends for a while, but certain traits started coming out and they became not so nice. Looking straight ahead, he says with a grim finality, they are not in my life anymore. Sorry, side tangent over. Ghidorah and Gojira are projected to collide within the western United States. Affected regions may have been sealed. However, mandatory evacuation has not been enacted due to catastrophe or whatever. They made it too fast. Don't put all this text on screen if I can't read it. Due to Jesus Christ, dude. Spit it out, Junior.
Today, Junior!
Catastrophic casualty rates along projected movement paths.
Words. Words.
Okay, cool. That is the end of episode 6. Very good. But again, much like 5, it's like, dude, pacing, pacing, pacing. I would love it, love it, love it if these were just a little bit shortened, a tad bit shortened. Cut to the chase just a bit more. Episode 7, here we go. This is it. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's amazing. You could tell that this was really what the whole series was building up to. This entire time was this big confrontation. And I'm all for it. This is so wicked. I can't get over how great that design is, too, for Ghidorah, with the exposed gums. I really love that. Oh, man. That's cool. Yes, this is biblically accurate Godzilla versus Ghidorah. Good lord. Oh, that's so cool. To have a beam clash like that, and then for the middle point to be a black hole. Oh, my word. Okay, what are we doing now? I'm waiting for, like, ragtime to start playing. Oh, that's great. I love that. I love how we're getting a little bit more abstract, too, with some of the visuals. It's really unique. Oh, that's nuts. Oh, my word. We're getting into, like, Evangelion territory. This is so cool. This looks incredible. Public stability notice is now being transmitted. I mean, this would have had to have wiped out almost all of humanity, though, right? Let's be honest. I mean, they're opening up like a black hole in the middle of their beam attack. So Gojira has been confirmed to be in a dormant state. It has been confirmed that its signal cannot escape from within this sphere. At this time, no immediate threat has been identified. Citizens are safe. In order to ensure public stability and the restoration of daily life, the following guidance will now be provided. Dog, if you're just gonna blast me with loud-ass audio, I'm gonna be so pissed. So, originally this text was reading out, though, back in here in episode, what was it, 5, where it was like, hey, don't go outside, don't look up at the, like, don't do this, don't do that. And now it's praising Ghidorah. It's almost like Ghidorah has now conquered humanity in a way. I think that's kind of what they're trying to do here, where they're saying, like, yeah, Ghidorah has conquered humanity, and that's sort of the end of this story. Worship King Ghidorah, praise. Interesting. It's a nice way to end season 1, especially if you are going to make more, which I hope Toolzilla makes more, because this is really cool. I'm really digging this. I'm just going to keep watching in case there's anything after the credits. Yeah, so someone in chat I think it was Blade Kaiju referenced this, where it was them actually like painting this in real time. So that is awesome. I'm going to kind of let this play while I give my thoughts on the series. As a kind of debut project from this channel, it's really cool. I love the artwork. I love the general aesthetics of everything. I love the biblical themes. It has a lot to say. I do wish that, in the early episodes, they didn't use the text-to-speech. I like that they amended that later on, and they had an actual voice actress who did a phenomenal job giving that wonderful performance. And so I think that it made a lot of positive strides. It, has some pacing issues for sure. But, I mean, hey, this is just someone doing it for the love of the game. And I love it. It might be, in my opinion, in spite of all of its flaws, one of the best Godzilla analog horror series. Is that just me being Catholic and finding a lot of this kind of religious horror really effective? Absolutely. But I'm digging it. I really do. I hope they make more, because I would love to see where it goes from here. There's a lot that you can do with this concept. And yeah, I thought it was really sweet. So go and check out Toolzilla's channel. Go and watch all of their content. They do more than just Godzilla. They did some speed painting Halloween stuff that I also checked out here. So go and check their stuff out. The work of art. I love it.